Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are again back with another show of Live with Musa Shaikh, Art and Culture Show. Art and culture is the base for every society, and it is very important that we promote art and culture, not only promote but understand, spread, and preserve our arts and cultures. You'll be surprised that how the big nations like United States or United Kingdom or all the civilized nations, how they love their art and culture to an extent that like they name their city names with the name of a poet or a writer or an economist or an educationist or an expert of the field. That tells that how important is or are the people who think about nature, who think about feelings, who think about emotions, and not only people but the history keep them with them in terms of their long-term memories with the people. So we read those poets and the writer who has already been died maybe 200 years before, but their legacy of the words, feeling, emotion still applicable today. So in our today program, we are blessed to have two very artistic and innovative women in our show. One is going to read and share the poems in Urdu language. Urdu and Hindi would be understandable. And the other one is going to focus on the Arabic emotions and feeling, which is very, very artistic and full of deep understanding and have ultimate peace inside. So let's go and see who is joining us today. Asma Jan Muhammad, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And uh, what are your thoughts of the day, like of the week, for example? Your emotions, your feelings about your experience of life.
Thank you very much for inviting Dr. Musa. It's a pleasure to connect again. This week, particularly, I had been going through a shift or a transition between reality and the virtual or the dreamy stuff that we all go inside once for a while. So I was checking what exactly we do in our free time when we are away from our day jobs, in order to relax, in order to take our minds off the regular schedules. It's basically called escapism. Now, escapism is normally it is taken in negative terms, but if we understand deeper, escapism has got its positive side as well. We all need some kind of different activity to keep our minds away from the routine stuff. Some people find their joy in listening to music, television, movies, playing games. Some people do daydreaming as well. Some engage in sports, storytelling, attending events, going out, socializing. Some even find their escapism in eating different kinds of food or cooking. So it depends on person to person. We do engage in some kind of deliberate detachment and distraction from our real world. So that those activities they take us into a different world. We may call it fantasy. We may call it virtual reality. There are different names. Now, escapism in moderate quantities is certainly a prerequisite in order to balance the stress and the to get an opportunity to self reflect on how we spend our day, how did it go, what were the problems, how did we deal with all those problems, whether there were good takeaways, there were better lessons to be learned. So escapism is something which is a given for everyone. Now, what I wrote in my article this week was that whether it is serving as a sugar or a salt in our daily recipes, that is all dependent on us. If we um, stay too much into fantasies, definitely that becomes a problem as well, and switching back to reality is a real challenge. And if it is vice versa, just the opposite way, then again it's not good. So clearly, excessism, if we don't exercise a check, it can become excessive, and it can harm us also. It can create problems. It can create a gap between what we expect from life and what is actually there for us. It can cut us from our social circles, etc. uh, in itself, it is neither good nor evil, but it is a tool, and it is on us to use it in both positive and negative ways. Escapism can be beautiful, it can turn ugly and damaging, uh, as long as we are not losing sight of our reality and our responsibility to the world and towards our family and loved ones. um, Definitely it has a lot of benefits. So maybe you can suggest what sort of escapism flavor you are using, sugar or salt.
That's amazing. I think my own life is based on the concept of escapism, you know. So I used to escape myself from the office and from the school, from the college, from university, and from the life sometimes. So the reason that the escapism, which we say in Urdu, rahe farar. So the farar is very, very important. You have to break the ice. You have to leave everything as it is, which you are unable to change, and you go for a new journey or new situation, new timing. This is very, very important. Now, it can be positive, as you said, it can be negative. So it depends, like, are you a positively skewed person? Then, of course, this will be a positive escape. But if the life is giving a depression and you are going to in a negative mode, then this escape can be very, very dangerous for you. I was recently working and on a topic called how to find depression in your friend, because there are some friends who are very precious. You know, they are vibrant, they are very outspoken, they have done professionally very good, and their education is the extremely nice, but they are depressed. So I sought out some points. Like the first point, if you want to sort out if you want to sort out, or if you want to find out your friend is in depression, so what are the symptoms? The most important is that your friend will try to cancel a scheduled meeting or discussion that you have already planned on the last moment. The reason is that they also love you, they want to meet you, you have likewise feelings, but at the last spot they will feel very, very slow, and they want to avoid conversation, so they are going to go through this feeling, they will cancel. The second symptom that you can find out in your friend, it can be a friend, it can be husband, it can be father, it can be anyone. I just sort out as a friend. So the second thing is that they are having full energy, full capability, they are physically very fit, but they have no urge to do anything. So they know that there is something that they have to do, but they are capable to do, but they are unable to do. And one very important factor that I understood, that once you are in depression, you lost interest in all the blessing that you have. So you have a good job, you have a good family, you have a good home, you have a good car, which is maybe the dreams of so many people. But for you, you have lost the interest, life becoming very normal, and you're looking very, very casual to yourself. These are three very important dimensions. If you see in your friend, it's a time that you have to figure out, and a discussion is very important in this point. So your escape and thoughts are very practical, very useful, and very, very beneficial to the society. And talking to those topics is very, very important. So with this, I will see who is the next joining us today. Hi, Salma Al Qubaisi. Thank you very
Hi.
much for joining live from Abu Dhabi. So, what are your thoughts of the week?
Well, completing to Asma's, I have prepared like a topic on vacations and holidays since this is the season for it. So most of us have the last two years or so have suffered from stress from the work, from the home, the studies, and So in general, the holidays reduce our stress. So it can allow you to step back from your what's upsetting you in your day-to-day life and reduce your stress or health issues. And it will recharge and energize your day. For example, maybe you will find a public area or in your neighborhood, you will find in your holiday or vacation activities that you are interested to do. So you can explore it during your vacation. Also, you can, during your holidays, even if you don't travel, you can take care of yourself. People can take care of themselves, for example, dining out, booking for a spa, um, like taking care of itself and to boost the energy. Uh, as well as fitness, holidays can give you a fitness intake, like you go ride your bike, for example, or uh, do your favorite activity like swimming, for example. So especially here we have summertime. Swimming is a very good, this is a good season for swimming. And while you travel also, you can, if you travel somewhere during your vacation, you can change your diet. So you will eat different food. You will have more nutrition, eating different food or cuisines outside. Uh, Holidays also give you a bonding with your loved ones, for example, um, and with your family or friends, like enjoying the company with each other, explore things about each other while traveling, for example. Another point is motivation. Here we don't, it's impossible actually for us to be motivated all the time. So when you are actually planning to travel or take a vacation by itself, you definitely will be motivated by the point of vacation. So this is a motivation by itself to have a vacation or travel or whatever. Taking a holiday to relax and recharge can also give you a renewed enthusiasm and focus on what you will when you go back to work. So I really encourage everyone to plan his vacation or holiday either locally or outside to make most benefit out of it, to stay focused and enjoy the holiday uh, and just have fun.
These are beautiful thoughts about the vacations and holiday, and this is a vacation season because the those people who are married with kids, the school will close and They will have 4 to 6 week vacations to travel. It can be a family travel. If you are a single, you can have your loved one, and you can have a better planned holiday. As you said, holiday does not mean that you take your flight and and land in New York. Holiday means that you are away from your normal life. You are having a change. You are giving more time to yourself and your loved ones, and you are a bit away from your normal routine and your office works and your thoughts, and that makes you more refreshing, more energized, and you are ready for coming back in the same world which make you depressed, which make you slow, where you have to face the work politics, where you have stress in the family, in the home around you. Everything can be stressful, but these kind of short exercises can take your stress away and prepare you for another few weeks till you take another vacation and you recharge yourself. So it's a continuous process. Now, with this, I would like to move to the next section. This is a very beautiful section of this program. Is that you have to read your favorite poem or a selection of your book where you are going to read for us and the audience, global audience, a very interesting concept written in a beautiful words, which will obviously give a healing feeling to the listeners, and they can relate the conversation with you. So let's see who is the first to share the first poem with us today.
Okay. कुछ नहीं चाहिए तुझसे ए मेरी उम्र रवां, कुछ नहीं चाहिए तुझसे ए मेरी उम्र रवां, मेरा बचपन मेरे जुगनू मेरी गुड़िया ला दे. These are the verses by Noshi Gilani. Noshi Gilani is basically a name from the younger generation of poets, and she's a former academic from the Bhabalpur University. She settled in San Francisco, USA in 1995. She got married to Saeed Khan, who was an Australian-based Urdu poet in 2008, and then she moved to Australia. Her experience of living in US is notably reflected in many of her poems. She has expressed the sensibilities in her poems and also reflected her sense of female identity, introduced a new revolution against the restraints on creative writers in Pakistani society. She co-founded the Urdu Academy of Australia, Sydney in 2009. The Academy organizes monthly sittings in Sydney to promote Urdu poetry and literature. I'm going to share one of her poems, and this is basically one of my favorites. अब किससे कहें और कौन सुने, अब किससे कहें और कौन सुने, जो हाल तुम्हारे बाद हुआ, इस दिल की झील सी आंखों में एक ख्वाब बहुत बर्बाद हुआ. ये हिज्र हवा भी दुश्मन है, इस नाम के सारे रंगों की, वो नाम जो मेरे होंठों पर खुशबू की तरह आबाद हुआ. इस शहर में कितने चेहरे थे, कुछ याद नहीं, सब भूल गए. इस शहर में कितने चेहरे थे, कुछ याद नहीं, सब भूल गए. एक शख्स किताबों जैसा था, वो शख्स ज़बानी याद हुआ. वो अपने गांव की गलियां थीं, दिल जिनमें नाचता गाता था. अब इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, नाशाद हुआ या शाद हुआ. बेनाम सताइश रहती थी उन गहरी सांवली आंखों में, बेनाम सताइश रहती थी उन गहरी सांवली आंखों में. ऐसा तो कभी सोचा भी न था, दिल अब जितना बेदाद हुआ. One of her books, Mohabbatein Jab Shumar Karna, is very famous, and this poem is particularly of significance. मोहब्बतें जब शुमार करना तो साजिशें भी शुमार करना, मोहब्बतें जब शुमार करना तो साजिशें भी शुमार करना, जो मेरे हिस्से में आई हैं वो अज़ियतें भी शुमार करना. जलाए रखूंगी सुबह तक मैं तुम्हारे रस्तों में अपनी आंखें, جلائے رکھوں گی صبح تک میں تمہارے رستوں میں اپنی آنکھیں، مگر کہیں ضبط ٹوٹ جائے تو بارشیں بھی شمار کرنا۔ جو حرف لوح وفا پہ لکھے ہوئے ہیں ان کو بھی دیکھ لینا، جو رائگاں ہو گئیں وہ ساری عبارتیں بھی شمار کرنا۔ یہ سردیوں کا اداس موسم کہ دھڑکنیں برف ہو گئی ہیں، جب ان کی یخ بستگی پرکھنا، تمازتیں بھی شمار کرنا۔ تم اپنی مجبوریوں کے قصے ضرور لکھنا وضاحتوں سے، تم اپنی مجبوریوں کے قصے ضرور لکھنا وضاحتوں سے، جو میری آنکھوں میں جل بجھی ہیں وہ خواہشیں بھی شمار کرنا۔ The candor and frankness in her poem is unusual for a woman writing in Urdu, and she gained a committed international audience and space, performing at large poetry gatherings in Pakistan, Australia, Canada, and US. میں فیصلے کی گھڑی سے گزر چکی ہوں مگر کسی کا دیدائے حیراں میری تلاش میں ہے۔ Unknown outside the Pakistani community, the translations mark her introduction to an English-speaking audience. She is a member of younger generation of female poets, and the complexity in her poems and, it reinforced her sense of female identity and introduced a new revolution in the creative writers of Pakistani society. This nazm is also particularly a very meaningful poem. کسی حرف میں کسی باب میں نہیں آئے گا، تیرا ذکر میری کتاب میں نہیں آئے گا، نہیں جائے گی کسی آنکھ سے کہیں روشنی، کوئی خواب اس کے عذاب میں نہیں آئے گا، کوئی خود کو صحرا نہیں کرے گا میری طرح، کوئی خواہشوں کے سراب میں نہیں آئے گا۔ دل بدگماں تیرے موسموں کو نوید ہو، دل بدگماں تیرے موسموں کو نوید ہو، کوئی خار دستے گلاب میں نہیں آئے گا۔ اسے لاکھ دل سے پکار لو، اسے دیکھ لو، کوئی ایک حرف جواب میں نہیں آئے گا۔ تیری راہ تکتے رہے اگرچہ خبر بھی تھی، تیری راہ تکتے رہے اگرچہ خبر بھی تھی کہ یہ دن بھی تیرے حساب میں نہیں آئے گا۔ In 2008, some of her poetry work was translated into English, and her poems were read in UK with the Poetry Translation Center's World Poets Tour. یہ دل بھلاتا نہیں ہے محبتیں اس کی، یہ دل بھلاتا نہیں ہے محبتیں اس کی، پڑی ہوئی تھی مجھے کتنی عادتیں اس کی، یہ دل بھلاتا نہیں ہے محبتیں اس کی، پڑی ہوئی تھی مجھے کتنی عادتیں اس کی، یہ میرا سارا سفر اس کی خوشبوؤں میں کٹا، مجھے تو راہ دکھاتی تھی چاہتیں اس کی، گھری ہوئی ہوں میں چہروں کی بھیڑ میں لیکن کہیں نظر نہیں آتی شباہتیں اس کی، میں دور ہونے لگی ہوں تو ایسا لگتا ہے، میں دور ہونے لگی ہوں تو ایسا لگتا ہے کہ چھاؤں جیسی تھی مجھ پر رفاقتیں اس کی، یہ کس گلی میں یہ کس شہر میں نکل آئے، یہ کس گلی میں یہ کس شہر میں نکل آئے، کہاں پہ رہ گئی لوگوں صداقتیں اس کی، میں بارشوں میں جدا ہو گئی ہوں اس سے مگر، میں بارشوں میں جدا ہو گئی ہوں اس سے مگر، یہ میرا دل میری سانسیں امانتیں اس کی۔ There is 2 more selections with me. تتلیاں جگنو سبھی ہوں گے مگر دیکھے گا کون، ہم سجا بھی لیں گے اگر دیوار ادھر، دیکھے گا کون، اب تو ہم ہیں جاگنے والے تیری خاطر یہاں، ہم نہ ہوں گے تو تیرے شام و سحر، دیکھے گا کون، جس کی خاطر ہم سخن سچائی کے رستے چلے، جب وہی اس کو نہ دیکھے تو ہنر دیکھے گا کون، سب نے اپنی اپنی آنکھوں پر نقابیں ڈال دی، سب نے اپنی اپنی آنکھوں پر نقابیں ڈال دی، جو لکھا ہے شہر کی دیوار پر دیکھے گا کون، ہے ستارہ زندگی کے گھر میں اب بھی رات کو، بے ستارہ زندگی کے گھر میں اب بھی رات کو، ایک کرن تیرے خیالوں کی مگر देखेगा कौन. My last selection is about and the verse is finishing on a phrase सवाल से पहले इश्क करो तो ये भी सोचो अर्ज़े सवाल से पहले. इश्क करो तो ये भी सोचो अर्ज़े सवाल से पहले. हिजर की पूरी रात आती है सुबह विसाल से पहले. दिल का क्या है दिल ने कितने मंजर देखे लेकिन दिल का क्या है दिल ने कितने मंजर देखे लेकिन आंखें पागल हो जाती हैं एक ख्याल से पहले. किसने रेत उड़ाई शब में आंखें खोल के रखें. कोई मिसाल तो हो ना उसकी मिसाल से पहले. कारे मोहब्बत एक सफर है उसमें आ जाता है एक जवाल आसार सा रास्ता बाब कमाल से पहले. कारे मोहब्बत एक सफर है उसमें आ जाता है एक जवाल आसार सा रास्ता बाब कमाल से पहले. इश्क में रेशम जैसे वादों और ख्वाबों का रास्ता. इश्क में रेशम जैसे वादों और ख्वाबों का रास्ता जितना मुमकिन हो तय कर लें गर्द मलाल से पहले. Thank you very much.
That's amazing. That's amazing. In this Noshi Gilani is very closely resembled with Parveen Shakir. And if you read these poems, you will easily relate with the style of Parveen Shakir, even in terms of words, concepts. So I guess maybe their mentor was Ahmad Nadeem Qasmi, and they both were their symbolic daughters in terms of shairi. So Noshi is perfectly. I was in school that time when I read this मोहब्बतें जब शुमार करना तो साजिशें भी शुमार करना मेरे हिस्से में जो आई वो अजियतें भी शुमार करना. At every thought of breaking your relation or negotiating something that is going bad, you always use this share in your conversation. It is very relevant. And what a beautiful selection of Noshi, and the way you read it also justifies her emotions. And a woman reading for a woman writer is really the one that way you justify the concept of this. Yeah, so, as a conclusion, can you tell the audience that Noshi is more into which feelings, like after reading Falling Noshi Gilani? As a woman, what feelings she depicts for the society?
I think it's definitely about the pain, as we already saw in Parveen's poetry. The pain is when it becomes unbearable and you try to express it through words. But while reading Noshi, and what I selected and what actually really was striking was that she has accepted that okay, there is a failure, and definitely she has not probably achieved in her emotions what she was aiming for. But then something like kisi harf kisi baab mein nahi aayega, it's a bit of I won't call it an ego, but it's basically a very strong statement that you've come out of that feeling and you are more better positioned in terms of your way forward. So तेरा जिक्र मेरी किताब में नहीं आएगा. So these were the
That's the
statements
best
that
thing.
they.
That's the best thing you can do. तेरा जिक्र मेरी किताब में नहीं आएगा.
Right.
किताब क्या जिंदगी में भी नहीं आएगा और गुफ्तगू में भी नहीं आएगा. This is the best revenge that you can give it to someone. Yes, you're right. Very deep, very artistic. Thank you, Asma, for joining today. And I will see you with the new poet in the next program.
Thank you so much.
With this, let's move towards our Arabic poetry section. And we see that what Salma has for us today. Uh, it's still mute. Can you unmute it? I guess there was a technical error in muting, unmuting. Meanwhile, we can talk about my favorite section, that is the English poetry. And yesterday I was in a city in England called Milton Keynes. So, and you'll be surprised that this Milton Keynes is actually John Milton, and Keynes is an economist who gave us, theory of scarcity, human resource, the resources are scarce, and we have to use the alternative resources in a best optimal way. So one economist, one poet, they combined and they named a beautiful city called Milton Keynes. So the importance of a writer in the nation is very, very vital. Shakespeare, John Milton, Noshi Gilani, Praveen Shakir. I saw that Western nations, they give a great appreciation to their writers, inventors, or their people who are thinking about human beings. But unfortunately, in developing countries, these writers are still not that way appreciated, which need to be focused, and they deserve great honor, respect, and appreciation which we should give them, because they are contributing to the art and culture which is ultimately building the nation. So let's go to Salma and see if the problem has been sorted out. Salma, can you hear me?
Yes.
That's
Can you
great.
hear me?
So, yeah, I can hear you. And so, what you have for us for today in your beautiful Arabic language?
Just give me a second.
Salma is fixing the system. Meanwhile, we can talk more about. So, have you heard about this? कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है and similar like मैं ख्याल हूँ किसी और का मुझे सोचता कोई और है सरे आईना मेरा अक्स है पसे आईना कोई और है. So these kind of beautiful uh, writers and their beautiful writings, these are the source of positivity, energy. If you're married, maybe you everyday things. um, मैं ख्याल हूँ किसी और का मुझे सोचता कोई और है. Sometimes you join a job which is you don't like, then you say मैं ख्याल हूँ किसी और का मुझे सोचता कोई और है. Sometimes you are a child and your parents force you to be a doctor, but you want to be something else. So you say मैं ख्याल हूँ किसी और का मुझे सोचता कोई और है. Sometimes you get married, arranged marriage you don't like, but you have to. Every day you wake up in the morning, you say मैं ख्याल हूँ किसी और का मुझे सोचता कोई और है. So there are so many situations when this beautiful things happen. मैं ख्याल हूँ किसी और का मुझे सोचता कोई और है. So with this, let's see, go to the Salma and see as she fixed her system, or still the problem issue is same.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, everything is clear. So please go ahead with your selection.
Yeah. أول الناس أنتي وكلهم وآخر العيون تملهم لو تحبيني هذا يكفيني اسكني عيني ونامي أنتي يا نوري وظلامي يا قمرهم كلهم أعدل الناس وزينهم خجل وأغلى من الناس في وقت الزعل وأجمل اللي حصل لي وما حصل لو تحبيني هذا يكفيني. This is a poet by بدر بن عبد المحسن Al Saud. He's a Saudi poet. He is one of the sons of Prince Abdul Mahsan bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud. He's a well-known poet on the Saudi Arabian scenes. He's one of the most prominent pioneers of poetic modernity in the Arabian Peninsula. He was called the architect of the word. He wrote the series of Yearning. So this was the first poet I chose for him, أول الناس. I chose another couple of poets. صداقة بالنظر. صداقة بالنظر علمتني أعقد صداقة بالنظر مع ساعتي قبل اللقاء، وكيف الثواني تمر ما تمر والشمس ما تنوي ونغيب. علمتني أن الحبيب دايم حبيب مهما هجر. سيل الظلام يملي الشوارع ليل، ولا جيت أنام أرخي الستاير عن شعاع، عن صوت وقف البابنا يدخل قمر أحبابنا. مدري أنا من وين ساكن قمر أحبابنا بين الهدب والعين. أرجع أناظر ساعتي واللي مضالي من السهر. علمتني إن الحبيب دايم حبيب مهما هجر. يلي عيوني مرايتك وفي كتاب دمعي حكايتك. ما ظنت تنساني أنا وجهي تركته في ساعتك. لا تخون وداعتك تذكرني في ليل وفي سهر وفي حلم. تذكرني في بيت من شعر أو اسم. علمتني إن الحبيب دايم حبيب مهما هجر. This is صداقة بالنظر, friendship by looking at each other. Now the other one is صوتك يناديني. تذكر صوتك يناديني. تذكر تذكر الحلم الصغير وجدار من طين وحصير وقمرة ورا الليل الضرير على الغدير. لا هبة النسمة تكسر. جيتي من النسيان ومن كل الزمان اللي مضى واللي تغير. صوتك يناديني تذكر. ناديتي خانتني السنين اللي مضت راحت. ناديت ما مكن السنين اللي مضت راحت. كنا افترقنا البارحة صارت عمر. ليلة أبد عيد تمر. ليلة أبد عيد تمر. يا جمرة الشوق الخفي نسيت أنا وجرحك وفي. يتذكر الحلم الصغير ريانة العود نادي. نادي الليالي تعود بشوق الهوى بوعود. بوجهي اللي ضيعتها زمان. في عيونك السود يا الضحكة العذبة. عنك الصبر كذبة. فيك العمر موعود. اشتقت للحلم الصغير واشتقت لجدار وحصير وقمرة ورا الليل الضرير على الغدير انهبت النسمة تكسر. Next poem, an apology from the poet to his wife for an incident that happened.
This poem, let
between
me
them.
give my feedback. This was Mumtaz. This is the best poem I can have ever read. You're talking about Nisyan, you're talking about Khayal, you're so beautiful, the way he wrote and summarized the concept is really, really amazing. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. This is an apology poem, as I said, from him to his wife. أبعتذر, I apologize. I want to apologize. أبعتذر عن كل شيء إلا الهوى. ما للهوى عندي عذر. هوى means love. أبعتذر عن كل شيء إلا الجراح. ما للجراح إلا الصبر. إن ضايقك إني على بابك أمر. ليلة ألم وإني على دربك مشيت عمري وأنا قلبي القدم. أبعتذر كلي ندم. أبعتذر عن كل شيء إلا الهوى. ما للهوى عندي عذر. تصدقي ما اخترت أنا أحبك. ما حد يحب اللي يبي. يا حبي المر العذب. سكنتي جروحي غصب. ليت الهوى وانتي كذب، كان اعتذر لك عن هواي، ما أقول أنا كوني معاي، مضايقك إني على بابك أمر ليلة ألم، وإني على دربك مشيت وعمري وأنا قلبي القدم، أبعتذر كل ندم. الله كريم الله كريم، حبك يكون همي القديم وجرحي القديم، والله عليم يا أحلى العيون إن الفراق جزء الفراق، أبا وعدك كان الطريق بيبعدك، بمشي الطريق وكان الجحود بيسعدك، مالي رفيق، أبجمع أوراق السنين وأودعك، كان الفراق اللي تبين الله معك، وإن ضايقك إني على بابك أمر، وإني على دربك مشيت عمري وأنا قلبي القدم، أبعتذر كل ندم، أبعتذر عن كل شيء إلا الهوى، ما للهوى عندي عذر.
Mumtaz, Mumtaz, Ahsan, Ahsan. What a beautiful apology, you know. So, would you like to summarize this apology into your nice English words so our non-Arabic audience can also get some knowledge?
So he's apologizing about everything. There was an issue between them. So he says, I can apologize on everything except being in love. I cannot apologize for being in love. And the wounds, I cannot apologize about the wounds. The wounds only I can sabr. I can be patient for them to heal. He says also, if you are upset that I'm passing from your door, he's apologizing for this. He says the person cannot choose his love. The love comes by itself. And also the love comes instantly or on condition or whatever. So he's just repeating that, apologizing for the.
I guess that this full of the Shire is full of love and care, and he want to depict through his behavioral submission to the love that I cannot do anything because I love you, so I want to be around you. Apologize me, and but I have wound. I'm in love, but I have burned myself with my extra love. This is a very special feeling. I mean, we can see that we don't get such kind of lovers in real life. In real life, we see men and women. First of all, it started in the beginning for some beautiful months and weeks, and but these feelings for long term, very few people can carry on. I mean, so writing these feelings, reading them again and again, and analyzing, I get there is a message from the poet is that no, there is a time, and there are people who still love blindly, emotionally, and they are so much in love that everything is giving them a heat. What do you think?
To be honest, this poet, the reason for this poet, mainly, this poet, he fall in love with one lady, and he left his wife. I'm telling you now the true story.
Mm-hmm.
After leaving her, and it was a sudden actually, she got into depression and she went to psychological issue and she was hospitalized. And because of this incident, he was in love with another one. He was apologizing for the love. What he say that no one choose the one his heart favor. But he's apologizing for his wife for whatever happened as a respect.
Wow, that's amazing.
And her reply is in my next one, my selection.
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead. It's getting very exciting.
تقوى الهجر تقوى الهجر وش لي بقى عندك تدور لي عذر لا تعتذر. So she's saying, if you're leaving me, there is no reason for you to find this excuse. Don't apologize. تقوى الهجر ما نجبره من عافنا ما ينجبر لا تعتذر. زاح الصبر لا تعنى لي وتمر ما وتبغي الصبر وين الصبر. جرحي عميق والقلب في دمه غريق وتبغي الصبر ويلاه من ويل الصبر. مهما تقول لا تعتذر. مهما تقول من الأغاني والجمل ما يحتمل قلبي فدية جبر الألم. يمشي معك درب الندم ما يحتمل يكفي عليه منك احتمل كذب وغدر. حبك سراب ضيعت وقتي أتبعه وسط الضباب صوتك ينادي أسمعه صرت أتبعه. واليوم في صحراء الظما ترمي فؤادي وتحرقه. ترجع تقول أبي اعتذر ليه العذر. ترجع تقول أبي اعتذر ليه العذر. دام الهوى ماله على قولك عذر والجرح يا جرحي يداويه الصبر ليه العذر. الله كريم الله عليم هو عالم بالحال ولا يمكن يضيم. عزاه لك يا قلب يا أحلى نديم. عزتي للحب لو يصبح يتيم. حبك يتيم وكلك ندم وين الندم بين السطور. عمر العدم ما له ظهور. ترى هذا غرور هذا غرور. تمشي بطريق وأنا بطريق اللي يوديني البعيد عنك يا أول رفيق. البعد يعفيني المزيد. وين الوفا والتضحية وينك رفيق. وبتجمع أوراق السنين لا تنسى تجمع جروحي ودمعي وآهاتي معك. وقلبي بعد ما قتلته يا رفيقي ما عاد يقدر يمنعك. كل الأمر عاد بيدك يا خلي يا هاجر ما عندك عذر.
Mumtaz, Mumtaz, Mumtaz. What a gharoor, what a sabr. That's amazing, amazing. Would you like to please wrap up in English for my global audience?
It's very difficult. Okay. So if you left me or if you abandon me, there is no need for you to find an excuse and apologize. I cannot force you to stay. Don't apologize. There is no sabr. Where is the sabr? Like this wound is very, very deep and the heart is already flooded with the pain. Whatever you say, there is no excuse. Whatever you sing or poets you write, you don't need to apologize. The heart already is wounded. And we both in the regret and our hearts cannot tolerate. Yeah.
That's amazing. I guess that's a very practical answer to the poem that once the damage has been done, it is done, and to forget about everything. And I guess it's time to move forward, and you look your life, and I will look my life. This is a very good message by the poet. And these are the feelings that actually a woman, passes through every day. Every day, a man get into another wife, another woman, and the lifestyle has become like this way where a woman is not accepting the other woman, one wife versus another wife. There is a lot of societal unacceptance and which leads to these feelings. And the writer is very, very articulated, a woman feeling in his words. That's amazing. You know, what a beautiful selection you have for the day. I want to thank you for joining us, and I'm looking forward to see you in the
welcome.
next episode with your
Inshallah.
new poet and new selections.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
With this, ladies and gentlemen, my audience, we try to bring some multi-language art and culture lovers who will enlighten, because every culture is different. They express the same feeling in a different way. If a woman get divorced in England, would be a different writing. In India, Pakistan would be different. In Middle East, Arab, it will be different. So combining all these into one show and bringing a lot of people from different culture will give you a global audience, global understanding, and we will become a better human in terms of understanding the human beings, because understanding the human being is the most important skill that we should have, because we are a human interactive society, and people, as we will talk about people, we meet them, we greet them, we care for them, we can say that we are a great human. With this, I would like to close the program for the day, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next program with the new selections, my new guests, and my um, great collection of arts and culture. You take care of yourself, and we will meet soon. Bye.